So the Minnesota Timberwolves have defeated the Denver Nuggets and have been a very underrated team this season. They beat the Nuggets 136-130, led by Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, alongside pieces such as Anthony Edwards, Pat Bev, Taurean Prince, and Malik Beasley. And this roster has proven that they can compete at a high level and have a record of 44-34, earning them the 7th seed in the West. Now, the real question is if they can keep up this high level of play while also being able to win at a high level. And in today's video, we will discuss why the Wolves can make it far in the playoffs and what has led them to their success this season. So what's up? I'm GTC. If you like the video, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. We got a Wolves video here, so if you are a Wolves fan, I'd appreciate it if you guys drop a like and press the sub button. So to start it off with Karl Anthony Towns. Now, he's been able to put this team on his back and has been there for this team, through the thick and thin. He's been the longest tenured player for this team, and he's been one of the best centers in the league, and in my opinion, the third best center behind Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. Karl Anthony Towns this season is averaging around 24 points per game, 10 rebounds and 4 assists on 53% from the field and 41% from 3. So great shooting splits overall from Towns, and he's been able to get it done on both ends of the floor as he's been able to show the ability to shoot the rock from deep while also playing some pretty okay defense. Nothing too great, but also nothing too horrible right there. So in my opinion, he's one of the best shooting big men in the league we've seen recently and has the ability to finish around the rim with a 6'11 frame, being pretty okay for the center position. I think he's around like 240 pounds. I'll actually fact check that right now. He's able to play the center position pretty well. Obviously being a good three-point shooter, but also being able to finish around the rim. Being 248 pounds, he's going to be able to finish around the rim pretty easily, and he did just that against Nikola Jokic. And overall, with Nikola Jokic being a better defender this season, he's been able to get it done in the post, Karl Anthony Towns overall. So the downsides to his game is that he plays pretty soft sometimes. He can get bullied easily in the paint with his below average defense. I did say at the beginning of the video that he isn't really a good defender. Nothing too bad, but also nothing too great. So pretty much a below average defender right there. And his scoring output is also very questionable, as in some games he will have 10 and other nights will have 20. So you can't really trust him to go off for 20 each night. You just got to hope that he grabs rebounds and overall just has a good game. So Cat's been a blessing for this team and has shown that he can lead this team being only 26 years old. Like I said, he's been the longest tenured player for this Wolves team, and overall, he should be the leader for this team moving forward. He should be the future. And he should stay in Minnesota because, with superstars such as James Harden leaving Houston a couple of seasons back, I think Karl Anthony Towns can build the culture here in Minnesota, and he definitely has been, because looking at it right now, I think Wolves fans most certainly like Karl Anthony Towns. I know he's been rumored, in every offseason that I've seen, he's been rumored to be, wanting out of Minnesota. And this season alone, I think they are within the playoff race. They are the 7th seed. So they should be able to get a pretty great playoff year this year. So if they do, and if they do make it out the first round, then I think Karl Anthony Towns should be the player to stay in Minnesota moving forward. So next we have D'Angelo Russell, who is a little bit of a special case. He's averaging around 18 points per game, 3 rebounds and 7 assists this season, while shooting 41% from the field and 34% from 3. D'Lo in previous years was great, but he's been definitely overshadowed in the last 2 seasons by other point guards. For example, we got LaMelo Ball having an amazing rookie year. Steph Curry last season and this season being absolutely amazing. Drew Holiday having a career year this year. And now we have D'Lo here, playing to the best of his abilities, but nothing too eye-opening here. So don't get me wrong. D'Lo, he's a great player, great point guard overall, one of my favorite players in the league, from the point guard position. But his days as that guy, especially in Brooklyn, are pretty much finished unless he can have an eye-opening season and if he can stay healthy overall. So if Minnesota got Brooklyn D'Lo, I think it would have been over. Honestly, Brooklyn D'Lo was a different breed at that time. Pairing him alongside Cat this season, that would be a deadly duo right there, I'm not gonna lie. But on the brighter side of things, D'Lo is only 26, same age as Karl Anthony Towns, so he, alongside Karl Anthony Towns, should be the future for this team. And obviously Anthony Edwards we will be talking about later. But overall, this big three right here, D'Lo, he has a lot of time to grow still. And, with his defense being pretty much subpar, I would like to see him work on that a little bit more in the offseason. But he is pretty much fine. Injuries are going to be a huge thing for him, and inconsistencies. So Cat and D'Lo, they can work. The only thing stopping them are injuries overall. So Next, we have Anthony Edwards. Edwards has been nothing short of amazing for this Wolves team, as he's averaging around 21 points per game, 5 rebounds and 4 assists on 44% from the field and 36% from 3. Edwards in his rookie campaign showed out in the second half of the year, obviously being pretty much horrible from the first half, kind of like Jalen Green. A lot of people compare Jalen Green's rookie campaign to Anthony Edwards' rookie campaign. And it pretty much aligns. Jalen Green, since the second half of the season, has been pretty much electric. Same thing with Edwards in his rookie year. And he could have won Rookie of the Year. Obviously LaMelo won it, but the matchup between him and LaMelo Ball were actually pretty close. And overall, it could have gone either way. In my opinion, I think it could have went to Anthony Edwards, with LaMelo Ball. I think he was injured around the end of the season, LaMelo Ball. I think it was. I'm not too sure what happened right there, but there were some people advocating for Anthony Edwards to get the Rookie of the Year award, and I wouldn't really be too mad if either one got the award. So Edwards has been able to get it done offensively, as his shooting and finishing have both been pretty much improved heavily since last season and have looked very smooth overall. And the big three of Cat, D'Lo, and Edwards, like I said, is very scary, and the offensive output may leave teams worried as to who to guard, especially in the playoffs. That's going to be very key in the playoffs, with Cat, D'Lo, and the Edwards. It's going to be huge for them to be on their game, especially with teams trying to guess who they're going to go to. Obviously, I think the number one option is going to be Cat, but then, second option could either be D'Lo or even Anthony Edwards or even Pat Bev, because he's shown the ability to shoot the ball too. So now for the role players. The role players on this team can be labeled as pretty streaky, as some players who can score aren't all that consistent overall. And, first we have Patrick Beverley. Now, Pat Bev has been able to give this team great defense, but also giving them some great three-point shooting. Beverley is averaging around 9 points per game, 4 rebounds and 4 assists, and a steal on 41% from the field and 35% from 3. Beverley, he's been a great pickup for this team, giving them that veteran experience, but also giving them some good, mentoring and some good coaching to the young guys, especially Anthony Edwards, D'Lo. And overall, Pat Bev, he's kind of like that glue guy, kind of like Udonis Haslem of the Miami Heat. Obviously he is playing, but also giving them that leadership that they really do need. And now they do have Malik Beasley, who has been a bucket for them off the bench, averaging 12 points per game, 3 rebounds and 2 assists on 39% from the field and 38% from 3. His efficiency from the field isn't great at all, but his three-point shooting is really just the more important thing right here, and has been very valuable for this team off the bench. With D'Lo running the offense and having that gravity, it's making it easier for shooters such as Taurean Prince and Malik Beasley to get open and just have that spot up open 3 in the corner or even on the wing. So the supporting cast for this team is amazing, but definitely could use more work. The one thing I really noticed on this team is that they don't have a true backup big man, and it's definitely apparent because looking at it right now, Naz Reid, 15 minutes and only 9 points and 1 rebound. That's not going to get it done. So if they can get at least like a 7-footer off the bench, because Naz Reid is 6'9", 264 pounds. So if they can get a 7-footer off the bench that can, grab rebounds, but also have some good interior defense, maybe some shooting, then I would be all for that. Damian Jones of the Kings, he did go off today against the Houston Rockets, so that could be an option in the offseason. And overall, just look for a cheap option that can just help you off the bench, will also just get you buckets and overall rebound. DeMarcus Cousins could be a good look too, being on a 1-year deal. So they can look to get Cousins in the offseason, I would be all for that. So overall, this team is good, but they are a couple pieces away from being perfect. I think adding in a good center off the bench, also adding a good point guard off the bench would really help this team. I think Ricky Rubio, I think he was on the Wolves previously. What was it, last season or this season? I forgot when he was on the Wolves. I think if they can get him, he would also be a good option, but he is also pretty old. DeMarcus Cousins will also be a good fit right there too. But overall, they are a couple pieces away from being that team, man. The Wolves can be a contending team in the future. The only thing holding them back is their ability to make moves and overall their ability to stay healthy, with them not being able to get some good free agents in the last few years. It's definitely been difficult for them to build around Karl-Anthony Towns and get some good pieces. But I think overall, if they do build a winning culture in the next few seasons, I think it's going to become a good situation for free agents to come here in the offseason. So if they can fix these problems, then they are set for the future, in my opinion. And overall, Cat, D'Lo, and Anthony Edwards should be the big three moving forward for this team. So that's in the video. I'm JDC. I'm out. Peace.